rest of them, I shouldn't be the reason they die this time.
Oh no, you definitely will be, but we will find things out. Oh, why'd it do that? Okay. I can fix this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dungeon Mechanics. We are here with another exciting episode of Dawn of Diademia. And we're going to get started here with a nice little recap. Because last episode, our heroes arrived at the Feywilds. So, last session, our group was traveling aboard the serpent cart that was headed back towards the Unseelie court. Thanks to the assistance of the party named Sir Biggs, they all got to know each other a little bit more, as Ray, Day, and Frey were all seemingly related, and Vin was also of some importance due to knowing things. And James had some imaginary pets, animals, creatures, dragons, that he was going to prove as well existed. But the unsettling portion was that Freya was pinged as Unseelie due to Sir Biggs's analysis. And immediately after y'all arrived and were greeted by Prince Advin Faerun of the Unseelie court, y'all were separated, where Freya and
Cricket.
I was gonna say. Wait, what was? Oh, sneaky. There we go. Freya and Cricket went over to a certain area with Obi, and
1000%.
yeah, 1000%. And the rest of y'all headed towards the other area where y'all were told y'all could convene and kind of come up with a defense to clear Freya's name in a potential court that would be happening soon. That is where we are opening up currently. Y'all are kind of weighted in this area. There is a large tree there. As y'all look at it, the leaves are very midnight in nature. If you were to look a little bit closer, you would actually see almost a star-like pattern in each of the different leaves as they kind of twinkle and glow. There's also a series of fey-like fireflies that are floating around that tree. But other than that, it's kind of like a spacious circle area. There are places to sit. There are servants that are coming around with different drinks and or appetizers, I would say. Not real like meaty courses or food courses. But there are different fruits and stuff that Ray, you would notice to be different fey delicacies. Although you are pretty sure that most of them could have some hallucinogenic effects if eaten in the improper order, which you're not sure what the order is anymore, so here we are. What would you all like to do?
I'm already blind. Let's eat some snacks.
Fucking Dalen gonna get his. Like, Master Chef. Boy. Here we go.
Well, being a chef, he's intrigued, so he'll just reach for something.
Raylith, you hear in your mind, so you just forgotten about me? It's been like 3 years. It's not actually 3 years, it's more like 3 weeks, but I haven't heard anything from my boy. How are you, son?
We're in the Feywild.
Feywild's one word.
Okay. 3 weeks? It hasn't even been a day. We're in the Unseelie court. Could use help. Love you? Your son, Ray.
You don't hear anything back.
Wow.
So, you all hear the one-sided conversation from all of that.
Oh, so we do hear that?
Not the portion in his mind, but the other portion where he's speaking out loud.
You're still able to talk to him? What was his name?
Oh, you mean people?
Yes, Peepaw.
Yeah. It's apparently been 3 weeks.
I thought we were supposed to be frozen in that moment. Well, that's great. Can he help us?
We're taking out the sending stone. I click it. Does it seem to work?
I mean, I believe you've used it since you've arrived at the Feywilds. But that was like when you first got here. But it's still giving off that same vibe, if that's what you mean.
So it's not working. Okay.
Oh, no, it's, you haven't used yours today. Oh, wait, no, you have. Oh, days are
It's been
mixed
one
up.
long day.
Ah!
It's been one long day.
You're just getting one-sided messages.
Oh no. Yeah, I can't message him. Because I used it when we got here asking for help. He didn't have. I'm not worried, you're worried.
Maybe a message from here takes 3 weeks in that realm to get there?
Maybe. Do you know the sending spell?
No.
Wonder if Vengax?
I mean, I could
Vengax,
try to
Vengax,
cast
do
it.
not
sorry.
either. Sorry.
Okay. Well, James. Wait,
Just
you don't
send
even
it.
know him. Never mind.
Just send it.
Send it to a person you haven't sent it to before. See how well that goes when you're in a different realm.
Oh, okay. Well, says he misses us. He thought we forgot about him. But it's been 3 weeks over there. So we've been here. How long has it been? Like, how does it feel?
I mean, it feels like y'all just got here. If anything, hourly wise, maybe 10 to 12 hours it's felt like y'all have been in the Feywilds.
My body feels like it's been here for days.
It's only been half a day at least. And it's been 3 weeks. Oh no.
Also, do you know what this is?
Take it. I don't think you're gonna like this. Just trust me. Like we already ate one thing, and you're already blind in one eye. You could only just don't. You'll be
looks so
pushing your luck.
good.
Don't do it, Day. Don't do it. You'll regret it.
Fine.
Here, have this instead, and I give him like something that looks like mashed potatoes.
You get mashed potatoes as an hors d'oeuvre. You just like scoop some with your hand.
No, like I got the bowl, gave it to you. This looks.
Oh,
I think
that's
this
even
is
better. Yes.
Just those
Just
good.
a hand. Thanks, Ray.
Of course, of course, of course. Boy. Oh boy. Okay. So, do we have a plan to defend Bray or no? I'll take that resounding silence as a no. Okay.
Is she's not unseelie enough?
They take it literal. It's just one or the other. Obviously, we try persuading Mr. Biggs. That's or Sir Biggs. That's his title that we gave him.
Biggest problem. We don't know why she was banned in the first place.
I'm gonna warg into 1000%.
So
1000%.
in Ray's position, he kind of goes still as his eyes shift over, and for anyone that's looking, they kind of look like Obi's eyes. And Ray, you're instantly thrusted over into Obi's perception, and you see similar servants walking around the area that Freya and the others are in is slightly different, but you see her sat down in like a kind of like a bench with no backing to it, that's along the edgings of one of the rounded portions of that area, and she sat there. Cricket is successfully stealing things from people's trays and stuff without them noticing.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I would like to because. So is Obi on Freya? Or
No,
like,
he's
can he
kind of
get
like
on Freya?
flying there.
Can he land on Freya?
Do you want him to
Or
land on
closer.
Freya?
I'm gonna attempt to.
Okay.
Okay. So, basically, get up next to her and like just kind of paw. Does she see Rayla's eyes or no?
You hear, what is it, Obi? Oh. How is it over there?
I can't speak through him, can I?
Yeah, you can talk to him, except your voice is going to come out of Obi's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's just kind of trying food, and we were wondering why you were banned. If you could tell us from the Feywild, that way we could kind of try to not get you killed.
Remember how I said things are different here in the Feywilds?
Yes.
This is a very important feature of that. I was a member of the Unseelie court before I ended up in Diademia.
Okay.
Essentially, you and your friends are going to have to figure out a way to deny a truth or find some loophole therein. But this is the Feywild, so there's definitely loopholes to be found.
Okay. Okay. If it comes to blows, I have something up my sleeve.
Try not to overexert yourself.
I'll be fine. But okay. All right. Final loophole. We got this. All right. Everything good over here? Nothing bad?
Make sure they're not eating the hors d'oeuvres.
I will talk today about that. Okay. See you in a bit. Hopefully, nothing bad happens. All right. And then I come back.
What did you find out?
Immediately No! Don't eat them. Don't. You feeling okay? Day?
Yeah, I feel
Ray's body just.
Everything
Oh god.
You hear two voices. Okay, so it's just that she was part of the Unseelie court, and we just kind of had to try to find a loophole. It's a fae, so there's a lot of loopholes through everything.
Ray,
Mm.
think about this for a moment. If they banned her just because she was Fae at the Unseelie court, then by that standard, there would be no Unseelie in the Feywild at all. There has to be another reason she was banned from the Feywild.
A good point.
She's keeping something from us.
I should have insight checked it. Oh, well.
she was Unseelie in a world that no longer exists. She's not Unseelie.
It doesn't matter what she is or isn't. If one side claims is what she is and banned her, then they would have banned the entirety of the group that they claim
They might have.
is Unseelie. Then why would we have been sent here to bring both sides together if there's only one side here? There's something else going on with her.
Your
I'll be
logic
back.
makes no sense to me.
I'll be back. And again, eyes shift. So, like, you guys are like talking to each other, and my eyes just kind of shift, and I can't hear you guys. Maria,
What?
so I have a question that James brought up. A good point. Is the entire Unseelie banned?
From.
The Feywild.
No.
Then why are you the only one?
Let's just say I was caught outside of where I was supposed to be.
Can you elaborate a little bit more?
The Seelie and the Unseelie are very temperamental.
And very territorial.
Yes. So, if one were to be found in an area that is clearly Seelie or Unseelie, and you are of the opposing factor, let's just say it doesn't look very well.
This wasn't a problem before where I was at. At least I don't think it was. Okay. All right. I might be back. I don't know. We'll see. So you were just in the wrong place, the wrong time. Yeah. Is that the gist of it? Or you just got caught because you weren't sneaky enough?
Spill the tea.
Things are a lot more complicated than just that, but we'll say that's the gist of it.
Inside check.
Deception.
19.
Sorry, I have to pull up a character sheet real quick.
17 on the die plus 2. Let's go.
Bump, bump, bump. First.
Bum, bum, bum.
Okay. Plus 23. What did you say you got?
19.
Oh!
With the D4, hold on.
Wait, you're
I know.
a wisdom with terrible insight? What is happening?
We've talked about this before.
You need to be talking to them about getting your stats fixed.
So I rolled a 4 on the D4.
What's that?
Guidance.
You can't post guidance
I know,
yourself.
I know. Alright. Shit.
And it's not that you're not sure if she's telling the truth or not. She's just, you've been around a lot of different Feywild beings in your lifetime, and every once in a while you'll come across someone that's just really good at hiding their gaze and makes it very difficult to determine what their intentions are. And that's probably more from the culture of the Feywilds than because they're like a practice trained liar or anything in that regard.
Okay.
While Ray's doing Ray things, the rest of y'all make a perception check.
Oh wait, I had disadvantage, don't I?
Cause no, this is hearing, so you shouldn't be.
Okay, I got a 15 then.
Okay.
24.
Okay.
Caden got a 21.
I roll for Obi.
Obi's not there.
In my body.
What is that? Obi's not in your body.
I know.
You're in Obi's body.
Do you want me to roll for Vi? Or does it
No, because Vi's also, I forgot to point out, Vi's also over where Freya and them are.
Since
right.
when? She's been on my shoulder since we walked in.
I thought you told her to keep
You said
close
no.
to Freya.
I didn't send her over there with Freya. Because they wanted a piece of that dragon since I brought it up. She hasn't left my shoulder since we got off that snake.
You could roll for.
I mean, I don't have to.
Vi.
I was just asking if you wanted me to. Vi got a 24.
Okay.
Because she's better at it than I am.
I mean, she's probably older, so. Everybody except Dalen hears a commotion coming in the area that y'all are. There is another pathway that kind of proceeds out, but there's a gate, and there's like commotion coming as people are headed towards that way. So it's like main area, the area that Freya and them are in, the area that y'all are in, and then like another path, and they're coming from that path.
So opposite end of the room of where we came in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd say that Caden would be taking a look that direction to see what's coming through that door.
Same as saying, yeah, he's gonna do something. It's that way.
You, again, everyone but Dalen, are able to start to pick up a series of different voices. One sounds feminine, the other masculine, and then there are a lot more footsteps in conjunction with just the two voices that you hear. So you're telling me that these new arrivals are your friends? Yes, that's exactly what I've been trying to tell you. Can I meet with them? Yes, we will be there shortly. And as that comes to a hold, the gates kind of like squeak open. This would be audible enough, at least it would be a change in the dynamic of the setting for you, Ray. Like, you would be able to hear the sounding of the creak of the door on the opposite side where you are.
Okay. As in, like, in Obi's vision?
Yeah, like, imagine you're in a room, but then someone on the opposite side of the house opens a large creaky door. You would hear a sound coming from the opposite side of the...
Walking this way or that way?
That way. Opposite to...
Where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay.
From where your body would be positioned, you would say that's where the sounds come.
Okay. I gotta go there. Yeah. I don't want them to try to talk to me and just like me not.
So Ray, you come back, and it's just in time for Dalen. You, with your 15 perception, finally hear like footsteps, and you're like, I don't know why I didn't hear this before. But you turn and look, and it's a series of Unseelie court guards around an elvish woman. Her hair's kind of pulled back neatly in a bun, and another fellow who is slightly dressed different since the last time you saw him, but it is Aleem.
He's alive?
It's been a while. Forgive me. My name is Princess Anastasia Faerun, and apparently this is a friend of yours. And Aleem like just looks over to you guys and like waves awkwardly.
I think he's gonna wave back. Hey. Yeah, we know him.
Weren't you supposed to be with a cart?
No, that was...
As he
Raylan.
says that, Caden turns and looks at him and goes, he came up the mountain with us. Did you eat something else?
No, he almost died, remember?
Yeah.
Did you eat?
We lost you in the mountain.
Yes, I lost all of you in the mountain. And he kind of like looks over at the princess and then back at all of you, and then like looks over at the princess, and then she looks at all of you. I will leave you all to it. Just notify the guards when you're ready to attend the court session, and we will get things in order. And she walks out the entryway
As
that
she goes
y'all...
to leave, Caden, Princess, one moment, please.
You see the guards kind of go on a...
He doesn't approach. He just kind of like holds his hand up and says her name.
Okay. The guards kind of like look in your direction then, and then she like waves them off and turns her attention towards you, stops and turns her attention towards you. Yes.
I was informed I should address this with you. I am a hunter by rights, a ranger of sorts. As we entered the Feywild, my party grew hungry and needed food. I tracked and killed a creature and he stops for a second to think about what it was called and says, what I believe you called the Brightwood. It was called a flagon?
A flagon.
Creature? Yes. I know not who to report this to. I know this is not of my land, and typically when you hunt someone else's land, you address this with them.
Well, here the flagon are nearly extinct. However, I do not believe these will be held against any of your party members if you were just seeking it for sustenance and not knowing the nature of its population. Was there any of the creature that remained that you could potentially offer as a tribute or recompense?
I look over at Dalen.
As far as the guts and the innards, I left them for the other animals of the wilds. I was unaware that they would be of interest as a offering to anyone here.
Excuse me, madam, but I have a vial of its blood, if that counts.
She acknowledges Caden and then walks over towards you, Dalen. May I see it?
Yes.
She takes it carefully and examines it in a way. Oh gosh, I would say insight check. That's probably better than a
Can we all insight checker?
perception check. Sure, yeah.
I have a -1 on insight. Just
I don't know if it's worse than doing perception at disadvantage. Like, what's the odds?
I got a 9.
Okay.
I got a
20.
19.
25.
18 for Caden.
Okay. So Dalen, it just looks like she's looking at a vial. For the rest of you, you can see an almost methodical approach as she's examining the viscosity of the blood. So she's in the vial, she's like tilting it in a way to see how quickly the blood goes down the side of the vial, all without like opening it and kind of unstoppering it. Here you go. I don't believe I caught your name. Or actually, I don't believe I caught any of your party members' names. She says to Dalen, because that's who she's standing in front of.
I beg your pardon, madam. I am Day. This is James, Ray, and Vinny.
Then, please.
And she looks over to her guards and kind of acknowledges them in a way. I will be along in a moment. And they're like, madam. And they kind of like start to march out of the room. And she, in the process of them marching out and filing out of the area, she looks just like generally at the group of other servants and other people that are there that aren't your present party. And they kind of stop what they're doing and immediately like bow and kind of like exit in the nearest exit way from that circle area that you all are in. So that now it's only her, Rayleigh, Vingax, Caden, Dalen, and Aleem, and Vi. It is a pleasure to meet you, Day, but, what is your real name?
Dalen like frantically looks over at Ray. Like, what do I do?
I'm just like, go ahead.
My real name is Dalen Newsbridge.
And I guess I will offer the same question to all of you.
Raylith Brightwood. No, nothing. Lord.
As Ray is now shot down and crushed.
Brightwood, like the forest?
Yes. Yes. There's more to it, but I won't go into detail.
I believe there is a lot more that needs to be discussed than I originally was aware of by my mother and father. You are from a different point in the Feywilds, are you not?
You could say that. You could say that.
And you two, kind sirs.
Vingax will reply, I am Vingax. And as he says his last name, he like unfurls his wings, just showing all of himself. Arcandor. Vingax Arcandor.
Arcandors. Interesting. You too are a long way from home.
Yes. Yeah. Very long way.
And our second resident hunter?
He kind of looks around and is debating on how much he wants to say because he hasn't really told the party a lot either. James is my name. Or was for a time. Caden is the name I am known by now. The name that has always carried with me regardless is Dumont.
Forgive me, everyone. You all are very intriguing individuals. Aside from Dalen, no. If there is any assistance that you all need, do not hesitate to ask. I feel that there are many answers you can find here.
Okay.
So, very kind of you. Queen. Is it queen or princess? I can't remember.
Princess. My mother would be the queen.
Yes. Thank you, Princess Anastasia. Would you be able to give us our friend back?
That is partly in your favor, dependent on how well you present evidence that will claim that she is either of Unseelie or not of Unseelie origin. I personally would not dwell on those particular facts, but in your best case efforts to present her character over anything else, you will find that should the time arise, many members of the court may offer challenges to serve in lieu of any discrepancies that may be presented within the court. But you would have to be willing to take on whichever challenge they offer. And it could be more than one.
Okay. When you say challenges, would you care to give us a few examples?
As of late, there are many complications that have presented themselves to various members of the court. If you were able to alleviate those complications, they would serve as boons or favors in whatever name you decide to present them as. Some are in relation to creatures that have gone out of hand, and some are of opposing court complications.
If you need help, you need but ask.
I appreciate this offer.
Seems like a very roundabout way to ask for help.
You will find that not just the Unseelie, but many members of the Feywilds are very prideful.
Oh, things have changed. How long has it been since the previous cycle?
I would imagine a bit over 300 years, give or take. However, time becomes very complacent here.
I know. And if you don't mind me asking, what was the previous cycle? The history, I suppose.
There was a group of gods and goddesses that became intoxicated by the boons and powers that were either offered to them or came into their possession at certain periods. And with these various boons, they decided to play a series of games within the main timeline of Diademia, offering catalysts on a yearly basis that did not end well for many members. And this was mainly due to the fact that when events such as empires from different worlds found themselves present within Diademia, it threw everything off course. There was war and conflict, and ultimately a unbalance of resources. Those gods and goddesses that decided to go against what they were intended for, created for, were ultimately banished, bound, and removed of their titles. There are certain individuals that have retained that knowledge of those events. I myself being one of those people.
Would this be like ringing bells in Rayla's head, or no?
Not in the form of like the Feyruns
Okay.
being within the Feywilds.
Okay.
it would ring in Vengax's head, though, right? To an extent.
So you
Like,
know
mainly with
a particular individual that has this last name. Aside from the connecting factor, there isn't much divulged as far as origin wise, but you do know that name from Yaka having it as his last name.
Oh, I was referring to her saying the history of gods taking certain boons.
Oh, that part.
Like the reason why Yaka and I know
so
each
like
other.
yeah.
Okay.
By working with Sanctuary and everything else,
Yeah.
you're privy to that portion.
All right. So then Vengax is gonna chime in. You're referring to the Queen Minna. It was Minna, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Queen Minna event.
Yes, that was actually the event that led to the end of everything, essentially, of that time period.
So sigh. I know. I failed in that. Told you it was crazy. He looks over to Taylor. Do you happen to know of a Yaka then? Faerun, if it helps.
Roll a insight check, I guess.
Oh God, I missed.
But I have known. Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
What's 15? I'm gonna take it.
It's 15. I'm gonna take it.
It landed on a 15 on the floor. I'm gonna take it. I totally missed the tower.
Them petty squabbles. This discount.
So 22.
It's going bare bones here. You would notice that her temperament shifts, and she pauses and looks at you intriguingly. What do you know of Yaka?
Vengax is also pause. He is deciding how much. Seeing her shift in demeanor and everything, Vengax realizes he has the cards, and he's just gonna simply come to a decision to say, I know of Yaka from that event.
My brother.
And he's just not like completely shocked. Your brother?
By marriage. My stepbrother, Advin, in his previous life, was married to Ayaka. However, in this life, he was not fortunate enough to retain his previous life's knowledge.
We're still talking about Yaka, right? Or are you talking about?
So
She's talking about
Advin was wiped, essentially, is what she's saying.
Memory wipe. So he does remember Yaka.
Yeah.
Thalen
But he's still
so
in the
lost.
present.
Well, yeah, y'all just met the prince. He's not with y'all
Okay.
presently.
Right. Okay. Well, when we met him, then that flew over my head.
I mean, technically, that would have been the first time you met him.
Right.
Because,
As she says that, then that's all going to come into Vengax's mind. It's going to piece together, because I'm pretty sure Yaka described to him about Advent and everything when they had met. And he's going to tell her as well, then probably shouldn't tell him that Yaka's alive. Should I?
I mean, to be perfectly honest, even if you did, he wouldn't know who you were referring to. My
Yaka's
brother came to my aid back when I was the headmistress of the Sage Mist Academy. I had befallen to some terrible magic, and he ensured that during my recovery I was taken care of. However, being my brother, he left in due time to go check on his husband, and in the process, when the world was erasing itself, he fell victim to that event.
Vengax is just gonna sort of become sad and downtrodden now that he has to live with the realization that one, Advent doesn't know who Yaka is, and two, if he ever can save Yaka, he has to come give him the news that he's back again, but has no idea who Yaka is. And he's gonna leave that. He's just gonna kind of shut down.
So after they have that conversation, Caden wants to look at the princess and say, so if you retained information of things from the past, and most people in the Feywild and even of Diademia, as you say, haven't, then you know what she is. And he points at Vi, sitting on his shoulder.
Yes, actually. Being the headmistress of a magical academy, it's kind of in my nature to be privy to dragons, as well as all the different forms that they may possess.
Most of your people believe them to be a myth.
Here in the Feywilds, for as things have transpired, it technically is a myth. No one has seen dragons.
So what kind of danger is she in?
None whilst here. I sadly cannot speak for if you travel outside of the Unseelie court's purview.
And as Caden says danger, Vi kind of looks at him and smiles because they both know what really happens with Vi. But she kind of smiles at him. She's not at her full strength.
Yes.
The dragon I'm linked to is not here.
That is mostly due to the gods tampering. They applied very powerful seals over Diademia so that essentially history could not repeat itself again.
But they sent us here. The 9 of us.
Who sent you?
I don't know. When we awoke on Diademia long ago, myself and 8 others, before any creatures, or before any humanoid race was here. We were placed here by something or someone. We watched the world grow. We watched the races placed and take hold and make civilizations. We watched the creatures populate. Then I watched the other 8 have families, grow old, and die. I'm not the same as the others of this world. I wasn't born.
Do you know why?
Everything before I awoke in Diademia is a blank.
When a world is created, there needs to be creatures, humanoids typically, created to look over all the different animals and creatures therein within the planet to serve as wardens. If you hail from the Dumont family name, you should technically be a warden of Diademia. A dragon warden.
I mean, that would explain why she came to me. But what I mean is, I've been alive for over 3,000 years.
Yes. The planet of Diademia has been reshaped numerous times. Generally, there is a particular event that causes a reset. And it would seem that this time, at least at present, is the only where, for once, the gods took into consideration protecting Diademia rather than leaving it open to nefarious gains. In each of those recreations, you would have been created lived a life, possibly died, and brought back again and again and again.
But why take my memories?
The memory wipes is generally a safe comfort. Most species, especially those of a more limited lifespan, do not have the mental faculties to possess numerous years on end without either growing mad or some form of that path.
She's calling you dumb.
So, while I myself only have the knowledge of the previous world to this and the knowledge of the world now, I'm sure there are other versions of me that have also lived much different lives than what they are today.
The others died, though. I know why I didn't grow old and die. And he kind of looks around at the others. I care not to speak of it.
Your story is yours to tell.
But I need to figure out a way to connect with the dragon that's not here.
Perhaps there could be a boon you can require in your favor for this request. I'm not sure if the members of the court would be able to fill it, and if so, it may only be in limited capacity, but it is still a consideration. But I believe that decision will be based on how all of you would like to go forward in the trial of your friend. There may be answers that you might have to give up in exchange for her safety.
So, so we got to give information to get information.
I mean, it really depends. The court members can be very fickle, and while I personally don't know what they will ask for, I will try and use my position to offer aid and assistance as best I can.
Okay.
And I believe I can convince my brother to do the same.
Okay.
You're too kind. Also, am I the only one here that has no ties to this other world?
There is a conflict in your aura, Dalen.
Yeah, like I told you.
On to you two.
I was about to
There's-
ask if you saw anything too.
There's another being there. Sort of latched onto your spirit.
How was that possible?
Many things are possible, given the circumstance. Has there been any reason that you know of why your spirit may be tainted, if at slightly?
At that word tainted, he'll kind of like have like a flashback of like remembering something.
It's check.
What?
Oh, it's not hidden. It's like a reaction. Oh. Maybe it's. I didn't know if it was real or not. Just. I don't know. But there have been things that have caused me to lose position with my brotherhood. But I didn't think it would be tied to anything like this.
Like, what? What would have caused that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I could do different things than my brothers could, but I just thought we were all different. But that didn't seem to be the case.
Can you give me an example of what you mean you could do different things?
Just my connection to magic would react different.
Can you cast magic?
Of course. In my brotherhood, we all learn to use magic.
But did you have to study it? Is it innate? What is it bestowed upon you? Because in a certain way, some of my magic, for example, I did have to study, but some of it was also, well, and I'm just gonna cast like a little firebolt, but like I'm not gonna shoot it off. Is it just natural?
It all sort of came to me at close to the same time. I was bestowed magic by our pantheon, just as all my other brothers, upon becoming part of the brotherhood. And over time, it adapted, and I'll mirror his firebolt.
Okay. Question. Would Raelith know if, like, what's the word that I'm looking for? Well, I was gonna ask about School of Magic, but that wouldn't really like narrow it down either.
Roll a Arcana check. I think I understand what you're trying to decipher.
That's a 25.
Okay, So, aside from schools of magic that, you know, would be kind of innately taught in wizarding knowledge,
Hmm.
you know that there are different branches at which magic can manifest. You know that wizards generally learn it, some are born with it, some acquire it from divine nature, others primordial. But overall, whatever the path is, it can be different based on the individual. For instance, some can be bestowed it by beings who already possess it in nature, and they can give it on to a prodigy or someone else. From what Dalen is manifesting, it almost is like it's very strange to see when you break it down to its magical components. It almost seems like it's supposed to be innately there, like he was born with it, but then there's like something clouding
Yeah.
it in a way. And
Clouding or amplifying?
I would say clouding it in the aspect of like it's not Dalen that it's innately drawing that energy
Okay.
source from.
Okay. Dalen, this magic is. This wasn't bestowed upon you by your brotherhood. This was something that was already in you, and the thing that the Arcana, as much as I've studied, the thing that is coming from is from that spirit that is within you. So it's innate, but that thing that has tainted you is giving you those powers that are innate to it and or to yourself. So that wasn't your pantheon, or not pantheon.
That's the word I used.
Okay.
So these are not of the Brotherhood.
No.
They don't like look at his hands and like bring that energy that to cast firebolt or what have you, and like kind of hold it and just feel it. Does it feel like anything? Does it remind him of that encounter he had in the forest?
Roll either a history or a religion check. Are they the same?
Oh, religion's way better.
Guidance.
16? Oh, guidance? 19.
Okay. As you're trying to figure out where this power is coming from, and you're looking in the flicker of the firebolt, your mind shifts, and it's almost as if the moment that you're standing with all the others is like pushed over to a pocket, and your mind is rummaging through a different surface, a different area at the time, and it's you walking through the woods doing a patrol of sorts when you see a creature, and this descriptor is very unsettling, as it's not something that you remember having seen before. And it looks like... Let me see if I could just find out how best to describe it.
Is this what I think it is?
It might be. Oh gosh. Oh no, I just posted it. That's why it's at the top. It's like, why is it spicy? It's a very elongated creature, almost ferret-like in body structure, but it's huge, like very big. It has a large mane and kind of an owl's face with horns that kind of protrude out of it. And it's just in the woods staring at you in your pathway, and its eyes kind of like glow red for a little bit, and then everything goes dark and hazy again, and you're kind of shifted back into you looking at the fire brimming in your hand.
He'll kind of like stumble backwards, and like the fire just like snuffs out really fast. What? I don't. Oh. Oh. I need a moment, and he'll just like kind of like walk off.
Due to all the events, I will give you all time. I believe that's the only comfort I can provide at the moment. But if there's anything else you wish to discuss, there will be chances in between the court sessions, and if I might offer a bit of advice, going into this, it is better to lean towards instincts and what your true desires are, even if they might not align themselves well to the case being presented. And she kind of like stands there for a moment, realizing the weight of the words and also the weight of the past conversation that's happened. And then she starts to turn and head out the direction where the guards kind of started to march off. And it leaves the 5-6 of you with Vi back in that circle area once again. That was a lot. That was quite a lot. I mean, I know I've been here for a while, but...
Was that a Liam that said that?
Yeah, sorry.
All right.
How did you get here?
Yeah.
Last thing I remember, we were headed into that fiery cave, and then heard a woman's voice, and I turned to look. And when I turned back, you all were gone, and I was thrusted here. It's been months since that occurrence.
Months?
Yes, I mean, it's very hard to judge time here. The sun doesn't exactly operate like it's supposed to, but in manners of perceivable time, it's felt like months.
We've barely been here a day.
Oh.
And that event just happened for us.
Found the orc.
Oh, did you kill him?
No, we
Is
just stopped.
Leia-
The same lady that stopped or that contacted you.
Oh, Leia's in a crystal case right now.
Crystal case?
I don't
The,
know what to call it.
The person that sent us here encased her in a crystal protective shell, I guess is the best way to look at it. Gave us her word that she would be safe until we returned.
Oh, so we just have to go back, right? I mean, easy. You
That's-
do all know how to get
that's-
back, right?
No,
No.
it's not easy.
And she gave us the task of uniting the Unseelie and Unseelie courts in order to bring back dragons, essentially. Then we can go back and defeat Malak. I think it's his name.
Okay. So we're stuck here. Because
Yep.
that's an impossible task.
Seems like it.
It would appear that they want the dragons raised from their slumber. But they want them to be raised correctly so that they are not corrupted. And apparently we are supposed to learn that means to do so here in trying to unite the two courts.
So there has been a bit of discussion Sealy courtside. There's a place in the Feywilds called the Vanishing Isles, and a lot of weird things have been happening there from what I am picking up. They've been sending troops that way, but none have returned. I mean, it's called the Vanishing Isles.
Sounds like a place you wouldn't want to send people.
But in lieu of when it vanishes, it seems that when it comes back, the perimeter of it is growing.
Is the Vanishing Isles part of their territory? The Sealy?
It's kind of bleeding into both sides at the moment.
So, the unknown phenomenon causing the Vanishing Isles to expand, to take over both territories, could be something we can maybe use to try to help unite the courts. Is that what I'm understanding?
I mean, now that you said that impossible task, we could possibly do it that way, but I haven't met anyone from the Unseelie court yet, and I mean, from how they describe them, I don't really want to, but I mean, if that's the only way that we can get out of here, then
It's better than what we had a few minutes ago.
To be fair, it's just like any warring factions. One side is going to say the other side is horrible. We will have to see with our own eyes if this stands true.
Maybe there is an Unseelie.
Unseelie?
At this rate, Dalen, they're going to think you are.
This is how group names get put out there. Y'all are just gonna start being referred to as the Unseelie.
Should have asked the princess why Freya was banished. At the same time, those probably going to come out at the court.
She does seem like she'd be a valuable asset in aligning the Seelie and Unseelie. The princess, not Freya. Maybe Freya, I don't know.
I feel like if we even tried to get the princess involved, that would just put her life in jeopardy. That would make her a bargaining chip for the Unseelie.
Caden, make a perception check.
Can you all hear me? Everything good now?
We can hear you.
Yes.
No beeping,
That's
nothing?
Dirty 20.
Not currently. Okay. As you're talking, you see a shift in the wood perimeter that's outside of the circle. As if something's out there, watching, listening.
Okay. And I have a fair beat on where it's located.
Yes.
He reaches in and he grabs one of his arrows. And he brings it down to his bow. And he knocks it while he's still talking.
Vangak's just gonna.
And is it behind?
That would be like behind a tree.
But is it behind Elam, or is it?
No, so it's not the area. It would be like whatever the center of the north side of the room would be.
Okay.
We're like still in the court though, right? Like
Yeah, but
castle?
like the core is a subjective term. It's like there's a circle area that y'all are standing in, and then there's like forest and brush around that. And then it like grows out and there's other areas. It's not completely fortified, but there is that kind of like gate passageway around.
So can I make out any type of shape, or I just see a shift?
Make a perception check.
Oh, that one's even better. That one's a 22.
Okay, as you like teeter on either foot, you see a flash of lavender.
Okay. And does that color match anything I've seen in this court?
Yes, you've seen that on one particular individual.
Okay. I want to try to put an arrow through the bottom end of that piece of lavender, but not into the body of the person wearing it.
Okay. Make a attack roll.
That will be a 24 to hit.
Okay. You all watch as Caden shoots off this arrow, and you hear kind of like a stifled murmur. Jesus! And then shortly after, a figure comes barreling out of the woods, fingers like rushing through his hair. You almost took my head off with that. As you all see the prince looking at all of you.
Was it aiming for your head? Like to spy, do we?
I like to protect my sister, especially when she's talking to individuals that we have just, for the most part, met.
She sent her guards away. That was her choice.
Yes, and it was my choice to make sure that her decision wasn't a bad one.
You could have been visually in the room without trying to hide.
I think if I was, she might not have divulged as much as she did. She is very overprotective.
All
My
this
question-
did was prove that we can't trust you.
How
Seeing
so?
as she left a while ago.
Ah. That is partly my fault. I was lost in contemplation over who exactly this Yaka is. And that's where we're going to end it.
God,
Oh no.
Good times.
Damn it. Stats.
Yes. So this month, just so everyone's tracking, we will be back again on the 30th. But going into the next month, we will be shifting to every second and fourth Thursday to make sure the DM has adequate sleep and does not inadvertently kill the party due to crumbiness. That being said, be sure to stay tuned later tonight for an episode of Dusk of Accordia. We will be picking back up with that second Chaos Baby. And next week, stay tuned for another episode of Fate of Ukador. We are winding down in the last stretch of episodes for that one as the tension's building, and I don't think anything's getting done anytime soon, so it's only going to be great. Will they fix time? We don't know. But next month, be sure to look out for returning shows and possibly new shows in the making, as well as other fun community events. But yes, we'll definitely keep you posted. If you haven't already, join the Discord. I think I fixed this link the last time. Come hang out, chat with the cast crew and other community members. We love to talk about all sorts of things. And we will...
And you can see the owl ferret thing in the Discord.
Oh, did y'all post it after?
No, but we will.
But we will. We don't have an Eldritch Horror channel yet, but if we did, and you can blame John for that. But yeah, we will see you all the next time, and thanks for watching. Bye bye, everybody.